Okay, and either continue on from with what we wrote yesterday, if you wrote those things down. If not, you can start a clean set of notes. All right, so short rules for derivatives. Okay, so we've got some rules that we need to get in our notes. Okay, so here's the constant rule. If f of x equals c, where c is a constant, then f prime of x is equal to 0. Everybody agrees with that, right? Because f of x equals c is the graph of a what? Horizontal line. And at every point on a horizontal line, you have a slope of 0. Very good. Okay, so there's your constant rule. Here's your power rule that we talked about yesterday. If f of x equals x to the n, then f prime of x is equal to what? N times x to the n minus 1. Okay, we have a constant multiple rule. Show you a little bit different notation here. The derivative of c times f of x. Okay, so just so you understand what we're saying here, these symbols right here mean the derivative with respect to x of c times f of x is equal to, what do you think we can do with that c? Put it in front. I can put it in front, right? Just like my limit rules, right? Derivatives are really limits. And if we were taking a limit of a constant times a function, that was equal to the constant times the limit of the function, right? So this is equivalent to the constant times the derivative of f of x, which is c, and what would be the derivative of f of x? How would I note that? F prime of x. Good. Okay, so let me show you like how this really works. If f of x is 4x to the 5th, what would you tell me that f prime of x is equal to?
20x to the 4th.
You would tell me it's 20x to the 4th, right? Really what you have done is you have done 4 times 5x to the 4th. Okay? So that's what you've really done, is you've pulled the constant away. Okay, you do not have to write this step. I'm just telling you how it works because, you know, sometimes you get tested on the ideas using tables of values, and you need to understand that if you're taking the derivative of a constant times a function, it's equal to the constant times the derivative of the function. Okay, let's talk about sum and difference rules. So if I'm supposed to take the derivative of f of x plus or minus g of x, if you had to take a guess, what do you think I get to do? I get to take the derivative of each one, right? So tell me what you think I would write.
So Derivative of f of x.
d dx f of x plus or minus d dx of g of x, right? And then you can go ahead and take those derivatives, and what do you get? F prime of x. Yep. Okay. So we got something a little different next. We have the product rule.
Oh.
No, we did sum and difference.
No, number 4.
Oh, my bad. 5. Okay, so 5 is the product rule. If P of x is equal to f of x times g of x. Then P prime of x equals. This one is not going to do what your instincts might tell you, okay? It is not f prime of x times g prime of x. It's not. No. Okay, here is p prime of x. It is the first function
First times last time.
times the derivative of the second function
Oh. Okay.
And then the derivative
plus
function times
the
derivative
second times the derivative of the first. It's kind of like the Yep.
Is it the
Oh, yeah, the sign.
it's like your double angle.
yeah double angle? That's what
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone say this with me.
angry.
Okay, p prime of x. Okay, or the product rule is this: the first times the derivative of the second plus the second times the derivative of the first. Okay, one more time. The product rule says this. The first times the derivative of the second plus the second times the derivative of the first. Very good. Okay, so here is
Going on mixtape. Dolphin fire.
Okay. Alright, so prior to knowing the product rule, what would you have to do with this problem before you could find its derivative? I'd have to FOIL it out and then take the derivative term by term, right? Which you're still more than welcome to do. And to be perfectly honest, when I see a problem like this, I normally do that, okay? But in order to show you the product rule, we're going to use that method, okay? So you just told me that the product rule says it is the first times the derivative of the second, which is 2x, plus the second times the derivative of the first, which is okay, and we can clean it up a little bit. So that's 8x to the fourth plus 2x plus 12x to the fourth minus 12x squared.
Is it? What? Oh. No, we just do the. Sort of right by 30,000. Sweet, dude.
Okay,
Back down.
you can leave it just like that.